Hey YouTube, today I'm going to do a quick unboxing video of Canon's Speedlite 600EX RT Speedlite flash. I recently picked up this flash during the Christmas 2013 sort of Boxing Week sale, and it was actually quite interesting what I paid for this thing because for those that remember, I believe in 2012 when this flash came out, it was almost $600 and I actually walked out the door paying just over $400 Canadian including taxes because of a special $60 Canon instant rebate as well as what the store had on sale that particular week. So this is what the box looks like. As you can tell, the box is substantially larger than the previous generation Canon flashes, 430EX or the 580EXs, which was maybe half the size. So this box is almost the size of a camera lens. So let's check it out and see what it comes with. So in the typical Canon fashion, this flash is packed in with our super thick user manual book right here. Some Japanese warning of some sort, warranty card, and then our fold-out lid on the top. Now this actually reminds me a lot of how an SLR is typically packed in. Almost reminds me of the Canon Digital Rebel SL1 type box, but this is what it looks like on the inside. And here we've of course got the main flash head assembly. It's packed in this nice bag. And then of course we've got our flash head wrapped in another layer of thin plastic to protect it from scratching. Now what makes this flash interesting over the 580EX II that I unboxed a year ago, or 2 years ago, is that there's actually a few extra pack-ins on this flash. Them being of course what they call a color temperature orange gel, as you can see here. And what a color temperature orange gel is for is to actually do corrective coloring of the flash light. And basically there's a little snap holder from the looks of it, which is this piece here, that holds this gel piece in over the front lens of the flash. And basically that will allow you to shoot, for example, under a tungsten white balance and then be able to color correct your flash to reflect that warmth in a tungsten light. Or you could shoot tungsten outdoors and then use this orange gel to give it a really cool and dramatic effect. But you know, there's nothing special to a gel. You can buy gigantic sheets of them for a few dollars. Canon, for some strange reason, sells these for 20 bucks because they can. And in your 600EX kit, it comes with two. So there's a full CTO, and it looks like, I don't know, maybe a possible quarter cut orange. I'm not really sure. It's like a very faint orange, guys. That's what it looks like inside this fancy little plastic folio. And of course, I had unpackaged this earlier. That's the actual holder that would snap onto the front of our flash head like this. Also included here is a nifty little pouch, which I'm assuming holds the front gel holder panel and your gels in that plastic folio. One more thing, guys, I also forgot to mention that inside the holding pouch for the 600EX that there's a little slot on the inside here that also holds that standard issue Canon flash stand. That's also threaded on the bottom here so that you can attach it onto a light stand or a tripod with a standard threaded mount. So I know I'd mentioned earlier in my video that this is an unboxing video, but I always like to just do a quick overview of some of the key differences between the various models of flashes or equipment that the successor has replaced. So we've got the 600EX RT here beside the recently replaced 580EX II, and as you can tell, as far as size goes, they're very similar in weight and length, being of course the 600EX RT being slightly heavier. But as far as the feature sets go, they both have the same external power pack connectors and PC terminals. Both have metal hot shoes, both made in Japan, both are weather sealed. They still take the 4 AA batteries, but the key differences between the late 580EX2 and the 600EX-RT, and even the 580X1, is the vastly improved LCD user interface that is now on the 600EX-RT. Now, traditionally, for Canon Speedlite users, you guys could probably attest to how cryptic the 580EX1 and 580EX2 interfaces were, because each of these buttons here do multiple functions, and depending how long you hold it or how many key presses you push, it would activate a different feature set of the flash. Whereas on the 600EX-RT, Canon's really gone to great lengths, I guess, to simplify the interface, of course being a larger dot matrix display, and to only show what feature each button will do dependent on the mode that this flash is now operating in. So that removes some of the mystery out of operating a Canon Speedlite. Now, for those that operate our own camera bodies from 2007 and newer, these two particular Speedlights will also allow you to control all of the flash's functions as well as custom functions directly from the back of the camera's LCD. Some final key things that are worth mentioning. 580EX1 really, guys, is just put here side by side for comparison purposes. 580EX1 plastic hot shoe mount with the old-fashioned Canon screw secure ring. 580EX2 with the improved metal hot shoe mount. The 600EX-RT metal hot shoe mount with self-cleaning contacts during locking. Now, what that means is that when you're actually locking this lever, these little teeth here, or the little terminals on the hot shoe, will actually shift a little bit to scrape the terminals clean on the hot shoe to ensure that you always have a reliable communication connection between flash and body. Other things that are, definitely different in terms of zoom. These two flashes here will go up to 105mm, right? Whereas the 600EX-RT now has extended telephoto that'll shoot up to 200mm. In terms of overall power, they're the same, but this one just gives you a bit more reach because of the way the top flash tube zoom works. As far as recycle time goes, the number of flash actuations, very similar to the 580EX2 in every respect, and of course it's super quiet when it's recycling, unlike the 580EX1, which is slower and noisier than the newer generation flashes. And of course the most notable difference here being that the flash here on the 600EX-RT now also gives you a holder to use gels on the front of your flash head here. So on the bottom of the 600EX-RT, there's actually a little sensor, a sensor array on the bottom here that will actually detect when you've installed a color compensating gel. Of course, you have to buy the ones from Canon for it to work properly, and at 20 bucks for a tiny little sheet that covers the front here, it's a bit steep when you can go and buy yourself a Hono gel set for far less money. And of course, all the awesome features of the 580EX2 are carried over onto the 600EX, and any of the flaws that the 580EX had have now been eliminated in the 600EX. So I know that there's been some complaints about overheating of the 580EX's flash head. 600EX apparently hasn't had any of those problems anymore, and also the fact that this new flash not only supports Canon's optical slave trigger, or master slave trigger, that were supported on previous Speedlights, but it now offers a 2.4 gigahertz wireless radio trigger as well. So you can now literally put this flash head behind walls and be able to trigger another 600EX-RT flash with it that supports radio triggering. So no more Pocketwizards or anything like that necessary, saving you a whole bunch of money. So there's actually a lot of hidden value in this flash if you're getting into the multiple Speedlite realm. I would rather much own two of these than to buy a whole bunch of Pocketwizards to do the same thing. As far as pricing goes, I mentioned earlier that this flash was about 600 bucks when it first introduced in 2012. It's come down considerably, and now with the Canon Instant Rebate, you're talking 60 bucks off at the till. I paid just over $400 Canadian for this thing, including taxes, brand new. So definitely worth investing in. I would actually consider selling my 580EXs just to upgrade to the wireless RF trigger feature of the 600. So there you guys have it. 3 Canon flashes. One of them, of course, being unboxed and then compared against previous versions. I hope you found this video useful and informative. Rate, comment, and subscribe.